Hi everyone! Welcome back to the channel and my Let's Play of Cooking Simulator. This is the 5th part. We're going to be picking up on day 5. Unfortunately, this recording I did and it had no audio. So this is also my first attempt at doing a video voiceover. So we're jumping back in on day 5. Technically end of day 4. Everything is already cleaned up from the end of the last video. I'm gonna do some rearranging, get my statue settled, and then take a look at ending the day. Now that I got that star, the fame star, it unlocked all of these new recipes. So I'm not sure which ones I want to try. I have 31 points. That's the recipe for steak that I looked at the last time. That seemed the easiest. And these are the two soups I'm debating. The problem with the duck broth is that it never says to blend. That looks like a soup, but there's carrot and onion. So I'm not sure how to process that. It would end up with just a whole carrot. This one confused me. We're going to go with the fast pumpkin soup. Much less ingredients, pretty straightforward, just blend it. That one says blend, and this one definitely doesn't. So pumpkin soup is definitely the way to go. I'm taking a look at the T-bone steak to see what ingredients I need. Looks like the only one is going to be sweet bell pepper powder. Everything else I either have or is easy to buy from the fridge or should be. So everything pops up here as I unlock it for a recipe. So easy to grab this new spice. A quick double check to make sure everything is clean. My oven needs repair again. This thing degrades very quickly. I think I only used it once or twice yesterday. It's really hard to decide. I think the 66% is what's left. So it's 34% damaged, in other words. And as usual, I'm debating on price, which company I want to go with. So I settled for the more expensive one. Hopefully, I'm not sure if it's high quality or higher quality work. This radio actually works. So you can turn it on and play different radio stations. I realized that's probably why there's no background game sound. It's just the traffic and background noise that way. So just going to double check, make sure everything popped in there. Now I can see I can get the pumpkin and the red potatoes for that T-bone recipe. And that's the end of day 5. So I actually had that wrong at the beginning. We were finishing day 5 from last time. Today is going to be day 6. I leveled up, so we have a new skill point to pick. So I'm still focusing on things that are going to help save me money. I don't think I really am going to chain 4-star dishes, so this one doesn't seem like a great choice. But fame points are helping me. And I'm going to do equipment repairs because I seem to be doing a lot of those. I don't have an issue with these lengths of cleaning and prep phases, so I'm going to leave that one alone. That one would be good because of how quickly temperature lasting longer would help. So those are pretty much the two I'm deciding between. And after my oven issues, equipment breaks down slower seemed like the much better choice. Now I have to pick an experience. I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't know it would change. So I can either keep it where guests can order anything off the menu, or I can set a particular menu for a certain day. I'm really not sure how much that's going to experience gameplay and which one to go with. So I settled on default experience, let everyone have full access to the menu, keep me on my toes. So the dish of the day today is tomato soup. And I have my prep phase, so since I already know that I'm likely to have to serve some, I'm going to go ahead and get the pot prepped. So it'll be ready. All I'll have to do is hit boil. So I have to pin the recipe since there's no actual active order for it. I still haven't memorized them. I think at some point I might get there. But for now, I still need that recipe right in front of me. So chicken broth, I had just enough for this recipe. I'll end up putting the whole thing in. I can never get these measurements quite right. It's hard to stop them just in time when you're pouring something. Still really paranoid about over seasoning because I left the canister pouring the wrong amount. So I'm doing 12 clicks instead of trying to change that amount. Cayenne powder. Now there's 2 pepper cans to keep track of. Oh, over seasoned, of course. So now I just need to grab the produce to put in. This time I actually counted the tomatoes. I usually lose track, and I still am not sure. I was 1 short. Oh, tomato on the floor. That's gonna get cooked anyway, it's fine. So I'm gonna drop that down on the stove, ready to go when someone orders it. That's about all I had to do from the prep phase. And the first order, of course, is not tomato soup. I'm gonna do this fish recipe. Very familiar with this one at this point. Not familiar enough to not have to keep that recipe in front of me. Always have to be careful here. It's hard to aim at the fish because it's narrow. There always is going to be overlap there. And then just the time left. I finally remembered that I can't put the fish on the baking tray. I need to be holding the baking tray. So did that first this time. Pretty easy to line up the tray this time. And now I just need to do my lemon. I'm going to clean this off just to make sure I don't get any seasoning on the lemon. That's never really been an issue, but now that I know how to clean it, might as well. I love the fact that I can do that shift to hold any item still. It makes this so easier. I kept grabbing a deep plate the last time for things other than soup. So I'm going to go ahead. The standard plate has always been fine. I'll grab the garnish first. Why not? And is my fish done? Not yet. I never timed that right. I can't wait until I can get the perk to be able to see how well it's cooked without opening the door. Oh, that lemon's right on the edge. That's not going to go well. They're hard to arrange. Trout's done. I love that I can pick up hot things now. Because I'm going to put it on the cutting board so I don't get any of this horseradish on my lemons. I did that wrong the last time. Oh, always grabbing the wrong thing. And carefully. I feel like the trait for walking faster would be such a disaster. And I got 5 stars. Now an order for the tomato soup. So this is great. All I had to do is hit that. I grab a deep bowl. While I'm waiting for it to boil, just checking over my seasonings. I don't remember what I was looking for there. Oh, didn't mean to pick up the pan, just meant to turn off the heat. It's much easier to leave that sitting on the stove. Blend this up. And there's just enough sour cream in there, so that's perfect. Although it never seems to even out. It said there was only 149 in there, but it counted as 150, which is good. Grab my ladle, which is the best thing ever. That's another thing there was really no mention of in the tutorial. I was just trying to pour a whole pot of soup into a bowl like an idiot. Like in real life, I would never be trying to pour a pot into a bowl. So that went out really quick. Already having it prepped. 2 5 stars in a row. So the chaining 4 star plus dishes is starting to seem more realistic. And the new pumpkin soup. So this will be my first time trying that. I'm going to need more chicken broth. I used it all for my tomato soup. As usual, going over the amount that I needed. So this needs 20 grams of salt. And I'm going to go ahead and change it to pouring 10. And then change it back to 1 before I put it away. So I just need a pumpkin, which I did not consider would need to be cut up. So the pumpkin weighs 5 kilograms and I need 1. So cutting this into 5 pieces isn't going to be great. I think I settled on just cutting it into 4ths because that's the closest I'm going to get. Now in hindsight, now that I'm doing a voiceover, I really should have just kept cutting it into pieces and not throw in a giant chunk of pumpkin. It's 1 onion, but my problem is that it just plops on top and doesn't get cooked. It's not even registering as being in the pot. So we're gonna try to rearrange this. Grabbing the pumpkin out so that can fall in works. And now we wait while it cooks. The onion in this recipe is cooking much faster than the pumpkin. So it's a lot like the other soup there. Grabbing my sour cream because I'm definitely going to need it. And a bowl ready to go. The onion is much faster. I wonder if cutting the pumpkin into small pieces would affect how quickly it cooks. I'm going to go ahead and grab it out. Now that I can touch hot things, I have that ability. So when the pumpkin catches up, I'll pop the onion back in and be good to go. So much of this game is just staring at these things, waiting for them to cook. And I'm not the most patient. Come on, pumpkin. So I try to throw the onion in, have the same issue as before, but now they're ending pretty much together. Luckily, the game doesn't care about processing a giant chunk of pumpkin. I actually started blending before I even had the blender all the way in. And double check my sour cream amount in the recipe. Try to get it to 150, which of course I did not do. Ladle time. I love this ladle so much. I'm not ever going to stop talking about it. And there we go. Really slowly so I don't spill. And 3 5-stars in a row. This is definitely my best day yet. There seems to be 4 orders a day. So I think this will probably be my last one. I'm going to stick this pumpkin over here. I'll already have it the next time. Nothing seems to spoil. So it's easy enough to just hang on to it for next time. So I'm trying to assess cooking times and how things should be done to time it well. Steak is pretty big, so easy to season. Salt and pepper. And the sweet bell pepper. I left that one set to 10. It's only for this recipe and it needs 10. So I figured that was easier. I'm going to go put this on the grill. But I don't want it to be done too early. So I'm going to go get the veggies prepped for the potatoes and onion. Bringing the pan over here this time. And I know I need 3 potatoes and I think 1 onion. But the potatoes don't need to be cut, they just need to be salted. So my boiled potato recipe, the salt seemed to be shared. I'm getting a lot more salt on the pan on this one. And that one only showed 2, so I thought it would need 1 more. And I'm not sure why I decided to put extra there, but now it's over seasoned. Shocking. All right, so this is another thing that's supposed to be cut into 5 equal pieces, which is not easy. So I'm trying to decide which way to slice. I went down the middle first. And then went this way. Actually, I think this one is 6 pieces. Yeah, 20 each. And I got them pretty close. There's one really big piece. Oh, I always do that wrong. Now I'm pouring the potatoes off. Floor onion. They'll never know. 5-second rule. It needs to be cooked anyway. I lost a potato. And I lost another potato. And finally going to the oven. Having a hard time again getting that symbol to let me load it in. Double checking my cook times. I'm going to turn this on and do the first side. I definitely did it backwards, and I'm debating which plate to use. It's a pretty big steak, but I think it'll work for the regular plate. Spoiler alert, since I'm recording a voiceover for this, it doesn't work well. Things do not go well. I definitely had this backwards. I should have done the first half of the steak, then the veggies, and then the steak again. I actually might have done that. Maybe I didn't turn the oven on. Timing of this stuff. is not the easiest. Try to flip something with a spatula, also not the best. Okay, good flip, but for some reason it's still stuck to the spatula. So take 2. There we go. Okay, now I'm turning on the oven, so I did get that part. Putting that over there so I don't lose it. If I get a lot more things to be cooked over here, I'll probably buy a second spatula to leave on that side. Double checking the recipe again, making sure there's no garnishes needed. Steak's looking good. Everything should be ending at about the same time. Check these. Definitely not done yet. Okay. Plate. Ready for the steak. And as you can see, the steak is not leaving much room for the potatoes and onions. What could go wrong? Actually, remember to turn that off this time. And now, immediately, already lost a potato. So I'm going to put that down, go get my floor potato. It's yelling at me to hurry up. Now the panic sets in. A few more steps and that same potato. So I put it down thinking maybe I could run back and grab that potato, but once it's down, you have to serve it. So it just went with 1 potato short. Still got 4 stars, but it was messed up cutting technique on the onion and the wrong amount of potato. And that was the last order. So picking up after myself, getting that potato thrown away. The oven survived this day. Doesn't look damaged yet. Now these are showing there's quite a bit left. So what I'm debating is if I can serve it the next day. Nothing seems to spoil. So if I leave those sitting in the pan and someone orders it tomorrow, can I just turn the heat on and then pick up from there? I'm hoping that I can, because that would be a huge time saver and would also save me a lot of money. So day 6 didn't end too badly. I actually made money. And I decided to do the ending for this one at the end of this episode instead of starting the next episode with it. And I got a perk. So of course, thermal vision it is. Now we'll be able to see how done the oven things are. And then just going through, looking at my skills. I upgraded cheaper products to the 2nd level and then did the buying recipes for less money. And that's it. I'm going to leave the episode here. We'll pick up on the next day in the next episode. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you will not miss it next time. Have a good one, everybody.